Good morning, it's Tuesday, February 2nd, and this is Slices of Wenatchee. We're excited to bring you a closer look at one of our top stories and other announcements every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today, why the rocks have been removed from Wenatchee's Locomotive Park, what's going in their place, and is all of this related to the recent alleged attack at the park? Today's episode is brought to you by Equilus Group Incorporated. Equilus Group Incorporated is a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Equilus Group Incorporated, building your financial success. Learn more at equilusfinancial.com, member SIPC and FINRA. Now our feature story. You may have already noticed that the boulders that dot Wenatchee's Locomotive Park are no more, after crews began removing them Wednesday last week. David Erickson, the City of Wenatchee's Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department, said that they've been wanting to take them out for a while. Why? Because they're a pain to mow around. Erickson says that the city will also be removing hazardous trees, they'll be planting new trees, and finally they'll be putting grass down where the boulders had been. It's all part of a larger plan to improve the park adjacent the George Seller Bridge. According to Erickson, the original plan was to remove the boulders after the ground had been frozen for a couple weeks so that heavy equipment wouldn't damage the park. But this winter has been mild, and now spring is fast approaching. The boulders were broken up by heavy equipment and will eventually be reused elsewhere in the city. The first batch will be used for landscaping at the Wenatchee Cemetery, and the rest will be kept in a stockpile. Erickson clarified that the decision to remove the boulders was not prompted by a recent attack at the park against a city employee. The city had actually begun planning the work last year. For those of you listening who didn't hear about this attack, here's what went down. Police say that a park's employee was loading a bicycle he believed was discarded into a work truck when he was allegedly threatened with a knife by its apparent owner. Court records show that the owner was David Padilla Sanchez. Apparently, during the alleged assault, Sanchez pointed to a graffitied boulder to show that the park was his territory. The parks worker told police Sanchez said something to the effect of, "You see the tag on this rock? This is my turf. Give me back my bike or I'll stab you." In an interview with the police, Sanchez did not deny confronting the park's employee, but did deny threatening to stab him. But police did find a knife in his pocket. He's being held at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center on $50,000 bail. Next, we'd like to highlight Ken Osborne, the longtime general manager of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, who resigned on Thursday after 15 years with the team. Assistant general manager Allie Shank will take over, making her the third female GM in the West Coast League. Osborne said that he enjoyed his time with the Sox immensely. For him, it isn't easy to leave a job and a team that he's been with for so long. Like his successor, Osborne started with the Apple Sox as an assistant general manager. He then became general manager after Jose Oglesby purchased the team in 2018. Oglesby thanked Osborne in the release, saying that he was grateful for his contributions to the team. Though the Apple Sox initially tried to make it work this past year, the entire 2020 season was scrapped in May due to the pandemic. Here's Osborne in a message from April just before the season was canceled.
Hi Apple Sox fans, I'm Ken Osborne. I'm the general manager of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. I wanted to make a quick video just to kind of answer some questions and to thank some people and just to kind of go over what the 2020 season may look like. We don't have all the answers and we're still waiting, and we're gonna follow all the state and the city and the federal guidelines, of course, for safety of the fans and safety of the players. I'm very optimistic that we will be able to have some sort of baseball in 2020. I want to thank all of our sponsors and our season ticket holders and our host families for sticking with us through this tough time. So everybody out there, stay safe, and if you can, stay at home, and hopefully we can have another great Apple Sox season. Thanks.
The Apple Sox are planning to open the 2021 season on June 1st against the Nanaimo Night Owls, an expansion team from British Columbia. The U.S.-Canadian border, which has been closed except for essential travel throughout the pandemic, will remain so until at least the end of this month. So the border will need to open first in order for the season to go off as planned. Now, some local history. Wenatchee Valley History is brought to you by Neighbor, your trusted neighborhood community. Neighbor is a free online forum you can trust to connect with your community, focus on facts, and make a difference. Join the conversation. Visit wenatcheeworld.com/NABUR. The Wenatchee Apple Sox team was established in 2000 by owner Jim Corcoran and has played its home games at Paul Thomas Senior Field on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. Corcoran and Osborne sold the team to retired Microsoft executive Jose Oglesby in 2018. And if you haven't been to an Apple Sox game, they feature a special 7th inning stretch. Local kids are invited out to the mound with the team's mascot, Coyote, to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Finally, before we go, we'd like to remember the life of Leslie Fitzsimmons. Leslie led a spirited life and traveled her years with a zest and exuberance that kept her going even when the going got really tough. Her persistence, beauty, work ethic, and charm propelled her forward from adventure to adventure, gathering many friends along the way. She was born in Boise, Idaho. Dad was in the Air Force, and thanks to his military career, Leslie got a lifelong travel bug. The family later returned to Dad's hometown of Wenatchee. Leslie attended Wenatchee Valley College. Prior to coming to Wenatchee, Leslie went hitchhiking to and through Mexico, traveled to Nicaragua, Peru, Guatemala, Australia, and Ireland. Leslie tried her hand at many occupations and received multiple certifications. She also briefly acted as a caregiver for her parents. However, it was waitressing and tending bar and brewery that ultimately became her primary occupations. In the 60s, she was mostly working in Seattle as a waitress, and in the 70s, she lived on Capitol Hill and immersed herself in the Seattle blues scene. There, she met and married Gary, and they moved together to San Francisco. 9 years later, Leslie returned to Wenatchee upon her divorce. Back in Wenatchee, she worked for the Leavenworth Brewery. Her smile, laughter, and energy were contagious, and tips were good. She also worked in Kashmir at BJ's. It was there 10 years ago where she met Ben Brandt. Ben has seen her through thick and thin, and thanks to Ben, Leslie was able to travel again. They visited Leslie's happy place of Maui, Hawaii, and got sunburned together. Ben promised to stay with and love her to the end, and he did. Leslie will be greatly missed. Thank you for taking a moment with us today to remember and celebrate her life. Thanks for listening. We'd also like to thank our sponsor again, Equilus Group Incorporated, a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. The Wenatchee world has been engaging, informing, and inspiring North Central Washington communities since 1905. We encourage you to subscribe today to keep your heart and mind connected to what matters most in North Central Washington. Thank you for starting your morning with us, and don't forget to tune in again on Thursday.